For those of you who might be new to Blackboard, I want to walk you through the process that you'll use to submit your paper. So within the week that the paper is due, I have a link to submit the paper. So you'll open that folder and then you'll see the link to submit the paper. Use this link to submit your completed essay. And so I explain there to you, when you're ready to submit the file, open your document, save it as a PDF file type. You also can submit it as a Word document, but those are the only two formats that I will accept. The only two that I can guarantee that I can open, and if I can't open it, I give you a 0 for the assignment, and we'll give you a short turnaround to resubmit it in a correct format. So make sure that you submit it correctly. So I ask you then to save it as a PDF file type, close the document, then open this link, scroll down to the Browse My Computer button, locate and double click on your file name, click the Plagiarism Tools checkbox, and then scroll down to submit the assignment. Now you don't have to remember those instructions, because once you click to open this, you see the instructions again. You also see a rubric, which you can open, and it shows you how you will be graded, what different aspects, elements of the paper will be included in the grade. And so, some teachers will have you write your submission here. We're not doing it that way. That's the way you'll do your email assignments, but that's not the way you do this assignment. Your papers, I explain, make sure that you have written it, saved it as a PDF, and then attach it. So you're going to click on Browse My Computer, Browse Local Files. Looks like they've changed the wording, so I need to update that in the instructions. Browse Local Files, find your file, double click on it, and when you do that, it will show as an attached file. Then you will click the Plagiarism Tools checkbox. If you want to make a comment to me, you can. Please give me an A. You're the best teacher in the world. Some comment there. Have a nice day. You can make that those comments in the comments box. If you submit a couple of different versions of the paper because you find an error in the first one, then you might add a note here. Please use this for, please grade this version. You can delete the previous one. Something like that, just to let me know what you have done. And then you would click the Submit button. Alright, so I'm going to walk through that, although it won't let me see it quite the same way as it lets you see it. But I'm going to go into Word, and I showed you this before. Let me see how I can make it do this. It doesn't want to let you see my Word document. And I want you to see my Word document. Let me pause this for a moment. Alright, so I'm in a Word document, and it's a brand new Word document that hasn't had anything done to it. And so some of the first things I need to do is I need to format it. So I'm going to make sure that it is formatted to be double spaced. I'm going to go to my paragraph tab here, make sure that it's spaced at 0 before and after any return that I might make. I'm going to ask it to double space it, and there we go. I'm going to I want to put in a header. So I'm going to insert a header, and I just happen to know, because I've done this before, I'm going to use slice 1 because I know that it gives me a word and then the numeral. And so I'm going to copy that word page, and I'm going to put in my last name. You would put in your last name. and then leave the numeral, and then either close the header and footer or double click out of it. Now I'm on the top line of my paper, and so I need to put my 4 headings in. I start with my name is the student, and then the teacher's name, and then the course name, and then the date. And this paper is due, I believe, the 14th. So I'm going to do that. Then I hit return one more time. I center my title. And I hit enter one more time, and then I go back to the left margin. I hit tab for a paragraph, and I begin typing my my paper. Oops, and I'm a horrible typist, so. And blah, 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 blah. I go on and on and on and on with that. It's going to continue to double space for me. So I just continue to type. It continues to double space. It's preset at 1-inch margins, looks like. And so when I'm ready for my second, but that's way too short. It's probably going to be 8 to 12, 8, 10, 12, 14 sentences long. But when I'm ready for my next paragraph, I hit return, and then I tab over, and I'm ready for that. So when I'm ready to put my works cited in, I go to the top of the final page. I center my title, works or work cited. It typically is plural. We're using only one work. I hit enter one time. I go back to my left margin. Then I need to go back into the class and copy my material, my works cited entry. My wonderful teacher has provided that for me at the bottom of the folder, the February 1st folder. And so depending on which type of source I'm using, and I explain it there, if you're using a paper copy of the textbook, you would use this first example because it includes page numbers. If you are using the online version, the embedded version of the textbook, then you would use the second. And this will be the citation that you use for your works cited. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to come back over to my Word document. I'm going to right-click and use the middle option to paste it, so I merge my formatting. That keeps my indentation correct. It keeps the italicized items correct. And I am now ready to save my paper. So I'm going to save this. I probably would save it first as a Word version, so that if I need to come back and edit it, I can. If I want to save it as trying to decide where I want to put it, so I'm sorry, I'm thinking in the middle of all of this. So if I then once I've saved it as a Word document, I can come back in and save as a PDF. And so I'm going to do that. And so I'm going to change my formatting for that, change it to a PDF. I'm going to keep the same name, and it kept it in the same folder. So I'm ready now. Now I'm going to close that, come back in, close both versions of that, come back into my submission item in the course materials, scroll down to that last folder and open that item, Scroll down here to browse the local files. I find my documents. I put in the spring, and I called it Strong Response, and I want the PDF version, so I would just double click there, and I see it listed as an attachment. If I accidentally click the wrong one, I can just click Do Not Attach, and it will get rid of it. Okay, so you don't have to panic if you click the wrong item. So come back and click that, and then click this, I agree to this, and then click to submit it. When you submit it, you will see what you have turned in. And another way you can double check yourself, again, it's not going to let me because I'm the teacher, so it's not going to let me do that. You also can go into the My Grades tab and scroll down to this particular item. What you should see is a greenish, yellowish circle, kind of looks like it has an exclamation mark in it. And that will allow you can click on that and see what you submitted. And so if you're concerned about it and you want to double check, please don't email me and ask me if I got it, because you can check and see if I got it. So if you can see that, then you know that it was submitted. And so you can check yourself. You also can always go back into the assignment link and open that assignment link and look at what you have submitted. And if you needed to submit a second time, you would just go back in to the submission link, click that, and you can create a new submission and turn in another file. And so that gives you a lot of control over what you need to do. So I've walked you through, in a previous video, I walked you through the process of using the pre-formatted MLA style Word document where all of that formatting is done for you. And now I have shown you how to create it yourself if you just open a Word document, a blank Word document, and start from scratch.